back to Stretch Breaks with Brittany. Today we're going to talk about 3 stretches that I see constantly being done very wrong, almost in a way to hurt us rather than to help us. When I say, okay, I need everybody to start stretching, and I see people break out into one of these 3 stretches, I know that I need to start at a base level and that we've got a lot to learn about our body and our stretching. If you like any of these 3 stretches and maybe you don't really feel a lot from them, let's talk about them, how to fix them, and then how to use them to make your body healthier, not just yank things out of place and try to show off in a stretch that really isn't a show-off stretch. First one, I swear we used to always do this in gym class. I don't even know where this came from, but this one, okay? This is our first stretch. Second one is this one, and our third one is our quad stretch. So if you do those stretches in your classes and you're in that place where you're like this, and you're like, I don't really know what I feel here. I don't really feel anything. I'm just going through the motions because it's what I'm told to do. Then this video is for you. So let's get started. The funniest thing is when I say start stretching, everybody, and the whole room goes like this. It's like the go-to. I don't know where we got that from. I think we did it in gym class in like 4th grade, and we've held on to it forever. Because what are you stretching? What are you stretching when you take this arm across and I see the blind and then I see this happening and kids trying to like rip their shoulders out of their socket practically, just trying to get the stretch. Okay, so let's fix that one so that you don't have to feel like a dummy and you don't have to look like one. So here we go. So if I say let's start stretching, first of all, you don't need to do that, especially if this is day 1 and you don't have any soreness in your triceps. That's probably not what you need to do. But if we are going to do it, so this stretch across the body here, it really is to open up our scapula, okay, our back, our upper back. So especially as kids, well, now they spend so much time like this that upper back is pretty open. It's the front chest that needs to start opening for our technology posture problems. But as we take this arm across here, we need to keep good posture. So the arm comes across and the shoulders stay down. We don't come here. Shoulders stay down and we pull that arm across. Now, I don't feel anything right here. So if that's you and you're like, what am I doing? You can take the head and angle it down or even on a slight diagonal, making sure that the ear is still open, like we still have a nice long neck. And now we actually are opening that top scapula. Okay? Let's take the second side here. Okay, so we bring the arm across. We're not here shortening the neck. We make a nice long neck, bring the arm across, and I'm not over yanking. I think that's what I see, and I have hereditarily bad shoulders in my family, so it freaks me out. So we don't need to yank that shoulder out. Just pull the arm across, shoulders back and down, and take a nice pull, looking down on the diagonal. See, this stretch right here is not one to show off our flexibility. I think that's what I see it. We're like yanking and pulling as hard as we can. I'm like, stop. Okay, so this is giving us a nice stretch in that upper body, upper back. Let's debunk the other one now. So the other stretch where I see people really like pulling I'm not even going to do it because I don't want to hurt myself, but we pull here and we pulling this elbow all the way across, and kids will really do it who have like really flexible shoulders. Okay, this right here is a stretch for the bottom part of your arm, that tricep. So if you've never worked your triceps in your whole life, it's probably not going to be very sore. If you did do some triceps, maybe you've done some tricep dips or lifting something, great, and you need to stretch your triceps. This is a great stretch for you. Push that elbow down. It's not about yanking. It's about lifting and then using, putting this part of your arm in so that you can feel the stretch there, okay? And here, leading with the underneath of that arm, pressing under the arm forward to get that stretch in the tricep. Good, we're going to take the second side now. I don't like to do this one that long. Like I said, bad shoulders in my family, and it just doesn't seem worth it. But if I did triceps at the gym the day before, then I'll do it. But other than that, we don't have to get too crazy with that one. Okay. So now we've stretched our scapula and we've stretched our tricep. Let's take another stretch. We just need a little bit more training. Our quad stretch. So our quad stretch, I'll see a lot of this, a lot of this. I used to have this friend who would go like this and then pull the foot and latch it onto the front of the hip here. So then totally twisting out the knee. So let's make better choices with our stretching. Yes. So in our quad stretch here, we want to pull our knees together so we're not open like this, and then press the front of the hip forward. Okay? So rather than here, not feeling anything, or like this, or even this, which then is getting us into like dancer pose in yoga class, or even our scorpion for dancers. That's a wonderful move. Not what we're doing here. Okay? So as for taking our quad stretch, try to get those knees together and then press the front of the hip forward. If you're not feeling a good enough stretch, that's when you press the front of the hip forward again. This is not a show-off stretch, right? Same as this. It is not a show-off stretch. It is not to see how deep you can stretch. To stretch the front of that quad there. Okay, let's take the second side. So we grab the top of that foot and we want to be linear, okay? Stacking our bones. I wouldn't say you have to put your knees exactly together, but we want the knee to be underneath your hip, which is underneath your shoulder. And hold onto a wall or both hands, whatever. But in order to make this stretch more aggressive, you just keep pressing through the front of the hip. Yeah, feels great. Feels great. You can do this laying on the ground. You can do it in many different ways, but always to make it more aggressive, pressing through the front of the hip, not crazy things like that. Thanks for joining me. I hope that answered a couple of your questions. So now you can look like a pro when somebody asks you to stretch across the front of the body, or if you ever get a sore neck or back. If somebody asks you to do this stretch, don't just pull out your shoulders, but to actually stretch that tricep. And thirdly, how to do the proper quad stretch to really lengthen the front of the leg, especially when we get sore quads after we've gone for a good run or a lot of jumping. So that's what you need to know for today. Thanks for sticking around, and I'll catch you on the next one.